Hey there, everyone. Welcome to Avina Vlogs, and this is Grab Bag Thursdays. This Grab Bag Thursday, I thought I would do a react video. What I will be reacting to, the way I'm going to set this up, I'm going to react to one headline from today's news. That's a serious headline. I'm going to react to a kind of out there, funny, ridiculous kind of headline. And then I am going to go through a list that someone put out there and go through that and give you my thoughts on that. So this is 3 topics that I will be reacting to. The first one is from Yahoo, that I saw this. A 9-year-old girl on vacation with her family from New Jersey accidentally killed a gun instructor while on the gun range after the instructor was teaching her how to use an Uzi. Those of you who don't know, an Uzi is a very deadly weapon. Fires quite a lot of rounds in a matter of seconds. And this took place in Arizona, and the gun instructor was teaching this 9-year-old girl how to use an Uzi for some reason, and she lost control of the gun as she was shooting it, and as it flew over her head, a bullet shot the guy in the head and pronounced him dead. Now obviously it's tragic, the death. Very, very sad. My question is, and I'm not going to get into the whole advocating gun control thing, because that's a whole personal thing that, I don't want to single any specific group of people out in this video. My question, though, is why would a 9-year-old need to know how to use an Uzi? I mean, there's a difference between learning to use a gun for self-defense, I guess, with like a regular handgun, I guess. And there's a difference between that and having to learn how to use an automatic weapon like an Uzi. Never in my life have I ever heard of a 9-year-old girl needing to know how to use an Uzi. It's a little ridiculous to me. Just, for the sheer fact that if you're gonna have your child learn how to use a gun for any reason, I think a regular standard, handgun would do the job. But then you put a deadly, powerful weapon like an Uzi in a little girl's hands for the first time, and you're just asking for something like this to happen. And I think that this man's life could have been preserved if some better judgment had been enacted. Because, even though I don't think this guy should have given her the Uzi, he didn't deserve to die. And now this poor girl's got to spend the rest of her life knowing that she killed a guy. It wasn't her fault, it was an accident, but still, that's something no child, no person should have to go through. So that's my reaction to that. That was a terrible headline I read a few hours ago, and just wanted to give my thoughts on that. Now on to the second headline that I just saw out of nowhere. This is from dig.com. This article is called "Short Men Make Better Boyfriends Than Husbands." When I saw this headline, the first thing I thought is, I'm screwed, because I'm extremely tall. And so, apparently, according to this article, men who are shorter make better boyfriends than husbands because they're less likely to divorce, and they do an extra hour of housework each week. Now, that I always get amazed at these studies that is really a thing, but I do a lot of housework. I do a lot of stuff, and I've never had a problem with being faithful to anyone. So it makes me wonder what the legitimacy of these studies really are. This is from New Republic Studies. Um, and the picture I can't show you, but the picture is Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman. I was laughing so hard. It was so stupid. Um, finally, this is from noisy.vice.com. The 123 worst musicians of all time. Now, I'm not going to go through all 123, but I'm going to give my thoughts on some of their choices. The first choice they have here is AC/DC. Now, they're not one of my favorite all-time bands, but I do like AC/DC. They say definitive proof that rock and roll is the only place where you can be a professional 12-year-old for 40 years and have it be totally normal. It's great that they built a discography singing about how great their penises were, but let's not forget that Jack Black and a band of actual 10-year-olds in School of Rock did a better job with their music. Now, I'm not sure how I feel about that, because even though I don't like have all their albums, I'm not a big fan of all their music. But I do like some of their music, and I think it's suiting for certain occasions. So that's why I feel that way. I don't agree with that necessarily, that they're one of the worst bands. And I definitely don't agree with this one, the Beatles. It would make sense to call the Beatles a boy band, except lyrically they fall pretty far short of the One Directions of the world. Songs like Hello Goodbye, She Loves You, and I Want to Hold Your Hand could have been written by 3-year-olds, while Hey Jude sounds like a bunch of dudes smoking pot and jerking each other off while yodeling. It says all you need to about this group, that the most famous thing they ever did was walk across the street together. I don't know who this writer is. I'm not going to call him out or anything. Which it doesn't have a name anyways. It just says it's by Noisy Staff. But the Beatles are one of the best bands I've ever listened to. They're one of my all-time favorite bands. And I'm sorry, but comparing the Beatles to One Direction is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. No offense, I don't know One Direction personally or anything. I'm not putting them down as people. But One Direction doesn't even come close to having the talent that the Beatles had. And it's pretty sad that our current generation thinks that they are worthy of being compared to the Beatles, because they're not. I love Backstreet Boys. They're my favorite of the boy bands, and I think they're the most talented. But I wouldn't compare them to the Beatles either. The Beatles are like their own separate genre of music. There's nothing that compares to the Beatles. So I think, no offense, One Directioners, but One Direction has nothing on the Beatles. So this guy is smoking some crack. I don't like Beyonce. Not as a person. I don't know her as a person, but I'm not a big fan of her music. So here's what they say about Beyonce. She's on this list too. Beyonce, TM, sings like the member of the choir who no one likes trying to show off. But the only people Beyonce TM is showing off to are her corporate sponsors. No matter how many GIFs you make of Beyonce TM, he will never manage to make one of her being sincere. This guy is brutal. He's got some of my favorite bands on here. Blondie, The Clash, Elvis Costello, The Cure, Doors, Eminem, The Foo Fighters, Fleetwood Mac, Marvin Gaye, Grateful Dead, Guns N' Roses, Whitney Houston. This dude is either doing this as a mock, and this is really the best bands of all time, or this is like the worst music reviewer of all time. Michael Jackson's on here, Janis Joplin, Judas Priest, Kiss. Oh my god. Stevie Nicks, Nine Inch Nails, Nirvana. Okay, this person is a horrible music reviewer. So I really hope that this is a mock thing. I really hope that this person was just doing it as a satire. Oh my gosh, this person is serious. Okay, at the very bottom it says, the best list of all time, not satire. This is definitely a real list that conveys exactly how we feel. We hate music so much that's why we work for a music website. Honestly, what does any list mean? This is in no way a joke. Everyone should take everything on this list 100% seriously. Absolutely in no way meant to be taken in remotely any sort of jest. Music is not our lives. Everything said in this is 100% an accurate reported fact and not a stupid fake fact that we made up. We promise. Gotta love music. This is real. Wow, this was written today. This is the worst person that I've ever read doing a review. I mean, if you're not a music fan, that's one thing, but damn, dude. Anyways, that was my reactions to the 3 headlines I read today. I will be doing Grab Bag Thursdays every Thursday. Sometimes there'll be a react video, sometimes there'll be, lost footage, compilations, random stuff. Grab Bag Thursday means randomness, pretty much. So, in the comments below, tell me what were your thoughts on my reactions and on some of the headlines from today. Leave those comments down below. Thank you for watching. Please give this video a big thumbs up. Please check out all the social networking links down below. Make sure you like, favorite, share, comment, and subscribe to this video and this channel. I appreciate all your support, and I will see you guys for next Thursday's Grab Bag Thursday. It's Anthony Avina, signing off. Peace out, guys. Long days and pleasant nights, my friends.